and the trainer, like, we've gone over things to do with her. It's just hard. So just that aspect in the home. Like, she throws an extra, what would you call that? Like, wrench and things, I guess.
It also seems like you care about preserving, for lack of a better word, the culture of the home. And since your family has been used to a small dog, you seem very aware that she's a big dog and she's getting bigger and she's gonna bump into things and knock things over.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, moving back was already like a hard enough like choice as it is, because you have all these, like, you get so much responsibility and like independence and stuff when you go, and then to come back and like kind of mess up all the things they've been doing, you know, like the way their life routine has gone, and then throw in this puppy. It's wild into it. It's like a whole nother level.
So it seems to me that you're very respectful of the routine that your parents established after you moved out.
Yeah. I definitely, it was a big choice, like, not just the moving back in thing, but like, I knew that with the puppy too, that they would be with her a lot, like, because like my mom works from home, like my mom and dad have their own business, and she does like all the book work and everything, so she works from home, so I know she'd be home a lot, and it's so nice like that she can, you know, my dog's not like crated up all day like a lot of people's dogs are who work and stuff, so it's cool, but I also don't want her to feel like that's her burden, is like, oh, she's home, so she has to let Ember be out and about, which isn't my intentions either. I just, if you really don't want to deal with her today, put her where she's, like, how they do that, how people do that, and that's fine too. So it's that, and other things like, I feel like then, sorry, text message, then I feel like I guess my parents are, maybe not my dad, okay, I feel like in the aspect of my dad, it's with the dog. Like, the problems there are that he gets under my skin about like, well, did you do this with her? And it's like, oh my god, back off. But with my mom, it's more like, well, are you and Daniel fighting? Or like, she's too much in my relationship business, which comes with like, I'm under her roof, so she sees if I'm angry or if he's angry, and like, those are things that it's like, okay, if we were at our apartment, you would have never seen that, and you would have never been like in our business, and you would have never even known there was a little fight or whatever. So that part's like irritating too.
Did you anticipate some of this before moving back home?
I anticipated the problems with the dog, because I was just like, there's no avoiding her, but I didn't anticipate, I guess I should have anticipated my mom, because she cares. It's not a place of like nosiness really, it's just like, she genuinely was like, oh, like, what's wrong with you guys, you know? But it's also so annoying, because you're just like, I'm 25 years old, like, I don't need you to be like, well, what did he say, or what did you say, like, you know.
How did you make the decision to move back home?
I think because like I said, where we were living, like, rent was like astronomical for this tiny 1-bedroom apartment, and it's like, it's so like discouraging, because you're just like, I want a home, and it's like, well, Daniel has a good job and me not yet, but it's like, I don't know, like, I want a house, and then this just seems like I'm dumping money into this place that I don't even really like necessarily, because it's not ever going to be mine for sure. Like, I can't paint the walls, I can't do what I really want to do with it because it's not mine. So that was more the decisions, like, okay, if we go back, then I can save money, and then eventually, or get a house faster than we would if we're dumping $1,700 in rent every, not including everything else you pay for with rent, just that part.
Has saving money always been important to you?
Yes. I'm super particular about money. Like, I'm the person that overly stresses. It's like, all my money's in my bank account, and there's plenty for my bills, and I'll still be like, oh my god, okay, like, this is due today, this is coming out today, like, and I'll like triple check my bank account, because I just don't ever want to be that person who like misses a payment or things like that. Like
Where do you think your responsibility with money came from?
my mother. My mom is, if it wasn't for my mom, my dad would have blown through any money they've ever had. He's the spender, 100%. He always like has hobbies, like, you know, he had his motorcycle, he had his like old car he had that he fixed up, guitars, everything. He has money that he dumps into those things. And my mom's always been the one that like, oh, I put away money so that you guys can all have, you know, a car when you turn 16, or like, so we have money for Christmas and things like that. So she's the saver in our family. It's taught me that I can have these things. I just need to like put aside money, and it'll be better that way than wasting it, I guess.
So was it a conscious decision for you to say, I'm going to be a saver and not a spender, or how did it come about?
I think that I battle them, honestly, because I really do like to save. I'll be like so excited, like, oh, I have this much in my savings account, cool. But I also love to blow money. Like, I don't know anyone who doesn't, but like, I'll just every once in a while, if I'm like in Sephora or I'm like, you know, at the mall, and I'm like, oh, I haven't bought myself jeans in a while. It's like, oh, buy 3 pairs of jeans. And it's like, but I'll always feel bad about it later. Like,
Really?
except for Sephora. But like clothes or like things like that, I'll always feel bad about it later. And I'm just like, why? Like, I hardly ever do that, but when I do, I feel like I all at once. I guess.
So when you're in Sephora and you go in for one thing and then you see 20 things that you like, how do you manage the willpower to say, nope, I'm only going to get the one thing I came in for?
Because like one thing there can be $50, and then that instantly is like, ugh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I like this makeup palette, $75, and you're like, okay, well, don't need to get that today. Their stuff's just, I love it, and I like makeup, but it's so expensive.
So do you look at the price and then you think about your budget and the other things you need to spend, or you just look at the price and you think it's overpriced, or how does it work?
I look at the price and I think, what else could I be buying with this? Like, okay, this is blush. Okay, like why? You know what I mean? Like, why spend $50 on blush or another blush, whatever, when you know you want these things? I think Go ahead. Sorry.
That's very similar. Well, hearing you talk about Sephora, it seems very similar to how you were talking about the rent and the apartment. You're like, I want to buy a house, and this rent is so expensive, and it's not what I really want. So I'm choosing to do something else.
100%, because what I was gonna say is like, I look at that, like the Sephora, I'll look like, okay, that's $50. I could be buying like something for the home. Like, I would rather buy like decorations and stuff like for the apartment versus, I guess what I would choose to spend my money on has changed. When I used to spend way more at Sephora, and now I don't, because I'm just like, well, I want the apartment to look like this, and well, I eventually want my house to look like this, kind of thing, if that makes sense.
Sounds like you're setting your priorities. Have you always been able to prioritize?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I definitely feel like that. I feel like I'm a very like organized person, and prioritize, like, especially like school and stuff. I think prioritizing is something I can do well and enjoy doing.
You added school, so what other areas does your prioritizing benefit you?
Friends and family. I think it sounds stupid if I say this, but not work. Like, I could care less about Chili's, but it's not like to say that when I go in there I don't perform well. I just don't care about that job, so it doesn't give me any purpose.
Well, I'm guessing you do prioritize who you serve and getting things done.
Down the bottom. I think that school isn't really high up there because I really enjoy school and I like coming here. But family and friends, because I've always really, really valued my family. And friends too, because the kind of friends I have are like family to me. I've had them for years, some of them since elementary, and we've all still been really good friends. I have probably like 5 close girlfriends, I could say. I consider them family. They come over to my house when I'm not there, talk to my parents and hang out, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's that kind of thing, so I
So
prioritize
your
them.
friends who are family, if one of them were here, what would they say they appreciate about your prioritizing?
I think they would say that they appreciate that I find time for them, even though my busy schedule. Because I think as we've gotten older, it's like we all have relationships, we all have jobs, school, things, and like if I look at my schedule sometimes, I'm just like, how do I get all this stuff done? Like I feel like I do so much, and I think they would value that I still want to make time for them. I want to see them, and I try to as much as I can.
How do you do it?
Oh man, I think I like literally like go through a rotation. Like, oh, I haven't seen Bailey in a while, so I need to text Bailey and see when she's free. Okay, now I haven't seen Erin in a while. Let's go down that list. Or they reach out to me, and we try and find days that work and such. But it's never.
So it's again, it's something. It sounds to me like you're very conscious and very intentional. So it's something that you're making sure that you're cycling